Good evening, folks. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if the sound is okay, and then I am a few minutes early just to allow everything to go live if YouTube decides to send any notifications. That would give people time to join, and then anybody who's joining in. So, like I said, give it just a few minutes. We're going to get started. I will be starting things tonight by talking about the Immortal Empires news that we had. And then, in order for us to continue the discussion, but also have something fun to do, I'll be playing some Bellagar Ironhammer campaign. This one is in special honor of Pratani, who is one of the mods on my Discord. He has begged me over and over again for some Bellagar Ironhammer. Bellagar? I just made a new legendary lord, folks. Whoops, I leaked it. Bellagar lead sword. Bellagar lead sword. Something like that. What's going on, folks? Welcome to the stream. I'll go ahead and start saying hi to people before we get things kicked off. In fact, I'll go ahead and switch over to the camera. But I'll wait to actually start the conversation just a few minutes. Hello! Eyes here. Thanks for joining tonight. We're going to have fun. Like I said, we're going to discuss Immortal Empires news, and it is some pretty big news. I made a video not that long ago saying that I was excited by what we were seeing for Immortal Empires, and the news today, I think, just continues that, I think, level of positivity, which is what we want, right? We knew that we needed some positivity, and I feel like the news today is positive. At least it is for me. Landlubber says, what WTF is Immortal Empires? Well, it is the successor to what we're going to be playing tonight, Immortal Empires, in Warhammer 3. Hasn't released yet. Immortal Empires is not out. No. Mortal Empires has been out for quite some time. I wonder if anybody misread my stream tonight and thought that I was going to be playing Immortal Empires on Game 3. I wish. That'd be nice. CA, please. Just give me the earliest access for no reason whatsoever. I'll take it. Not that it's being offered, but I'll take it. I'll be positive if you fix the gambling machine. You know what, Nikki? I don't know what's wrong with the gambling machine. I don't know if I have time to try and fix it now because I actually have to get started here in about 10 seconds. It says it's turned on, and everything should be in place, but for whatever reason it doesn't work when you all do it. I'm going to switch over to the display capture. Let me get this pulled up here. Display, oh, of course it always puts the wrong screen on here. Oh, Streamlabs, please. Display capture. Primary monitor, done. All right, here we go. So, I got everything pulled up here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Thank you for joining. We've got quite a few folks already, so that's exciting. Good to see. People are hyped up for this. And what's funny, and I say this jokingly, and it's okay, right? I'm not bashing someone. Watch what you want to watch on YouTube. I'm not trashing anybody. I just think it's funny. And it hasn't happened just recently. It's been a long time. Total War fans get way more hyped up when you come and talk about a Total War game than they do when you actually play the Total War game. Go look at everybody's videos, not just mine. All the other Total War YouTubers. If they have a video speculating about DLC, talking about lore, talking about news from the game, it will get more views than if you actually play the game. I think it's hilarious. If I'm wrong, whatever. You all can tell me if I think I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. You can go take a look at it. But hey, whatever you all want. You know, like I said, not bashing someone. You can watch what you want on YouTube. I think that's why they call it YouTube. In any case, let's get started tonight talking about the news we got for Immortal Empires in Total War Warhammer 3. It's pretty exciting news. They revealed the map today, and we'll take a look at it here shortly and talk through some of the stats. And I remember, and so not long ago, a few weeks back, I made a video talking about what I thought they needed to do in order to successfully repopulate Total War Warhammer 3, because the population right now in the game is really bad. And one of the things I said is that they're going to have to go big on the Immortal Empires map. And it looks like that is going to be the case, and that's great. Because again, they can't just release a Game 3 version of what we had in Game 2. That won't be enough. It has to be way better. Because people already expect it to be better, it has to be way better. And today's news, I think, confirms that it very well could be way better. It's not out yet, so I'm not going to say it is way better. But it could be way better, and so I think the news is good. So let's take a look at it. So in any case, this week's blog, they tell us that they're going to give us a peek at the Immortal Empires map, and they say that, and I'll read a few other words here, that it's the quintessential sandbox experience of the Total War Warhammer campaign. Good. That's what we need, right? We need the ultimate sandbox campaign. That's good. They also say they're going to give us a little bit of a look at sea lanes today, which is exciting. So here it is, folks. This is the Immortal Empires map for Game 3. Holy crap. This thing is huge. I can barely fit it on the screen. So the map that they showed us is absolutely huge. Now remember that the Game 2 Immortal Empires map, it like scrunched off like all the way up to the edge here, cut off the bottom of Lustria, the bottom of the Southlands, and then we did end up getting, I think, like over to here on some of these, and then it kind of cuts back in this way. So it's a significantly smaller map. So you're talking about adding all the way down to the tip of Lustria, the tip of the Southlands, all of Nagarond. And not only do we get the Norskin Waste, or here, whatever you call this area, the Chaos Waste, we get all this huge bunch of Chaos Waste up here. And then you can see here that we've got all of Cathay and Troll Country, essentially, all these mountains here. So all that area, so this is exciting. And then when we scroll down, look here, there's even Southern Waste, Ice Fire Plains, Southern Waste, Abyssal Glacier, Demonium Hills. This is insane. And also we've got End and Koresh on here. So they don't have settlements in them, and CA addresses this, and we'll talk about it. But it's interesting that these are here. This could be for a few reasons. I'll discuss those here briefly, but they are on the map. So, I mean, this is the map, like the full map of everything that was Warhammer Fantasy, I'm pretty sure. You all can let me know. If someone knows better, and so, some people are talking about Nippon, so they may be missing Nippon on here, but I think pretty much everything else for what was in Warhammer Fantasy is here. So this is great. And this is exciting, but we're looking at the map. Well, what are some stats on it? They say minus poor Nippon. Okay, so Nippon has not been included. Hopefully, maybe it'll get included at some point. I mean, they did add stuff to the Mortal Empires map. It's possible that they could add thing. Okay, people are definitely confirming that it's Nippon is the only thing missing. Let's go take a look at the stats here. So this is Game 2, Mortal Empires. Game 3, Immortal Empires. There was 401 settlements in Game 2. It's going to be all the way up to 554 settlements. And they put an asterisk here because they're saying, hey, it could change if we get a little bit of feedback during the beta, okay? So 554 settlements. That is a huge increase. That's over 20% increase to the number of settlements on the map. Starting factions goes from 183 to 278. So again, another huge increase in the quantity here. And then Legendary Lords goes from 74 to 86. So that's also exciting. So yeah, that's going to be a big change. And you go to, I was trying to remember, you'll help me with the numbers here. So Warhammer 3, we had 3 Lords for Kislev, 2 for Cathay, so that's 5. 1 for each demon faction, so that makes it 9. And then, so 9 more would be 83. But I don't know, like maybe I'm just miscounting. There's probably at least one I'm miscounting, but are they indicating that they're adding content with that? I mean, because I'm trying to add those numbers up, and you all have to tell me where you think that's going. Okay, Bellagar is one more that the chat just mentioned, so that'll make it 84. But should be 2 more, right? Because, so, I mean, we know that there's more lords coming now as well. So that's also exciting news. And they said here, I'll read some of their words. They said, "We've long said the release of Total War Warhammer 3 is only the beginning of the journey. To that end, you can expect the number of playable legendary lords and races to continue growing as we release new DLC and free content to the game. This means that there will always be a fresh, new ways to approach Immortal Empires in the months and years to come." That's good to hear. We want the support to continue a long time. I hope it continues for as long as it did for Game 2, hopefully longer. The reason I say that is because this is probably the last Warhammer Fantasy title that we're going to get. So I'd love to see it last for a long time. It's a huge game. It should last for a long time, and there's a lot they could add to it. Now, they're not going to talk about start positions yet. They, in fact, say that start positions are going to be their discussion for next time. Let me go ahead and start talking a little bit about sea lanes really quick. So sea lanes is another big thing that they're introducing, and they gave us a map here, and they're using color coding with these little ships. Essentially, it works kind of like a teleport at the edge of the map. If you ever played Empire Total War, it's similar to that, where you could sail to the edge of the map and go to a different theater. This map, though, they show us here is not in theaters, but these basically let you sail into the sea lane, and it kind of teleports you to the other end, I think, after, however many turns. And so it allows you to traverse the map. And let's say that, for instance, you start over here on the very western edge of the map. You can use this sea lane, for instance, here to go and hit Cathay. So maybe you're playing as Dark Elves, you want to raid Cathay, that's now doable. You're playing as Cathay, you want to invade Nagaron, that's doable. You're playing as Cathay and you want to be able to sail to the Southlands, that's now doable because of this sea lane here. So the sea lanes basically allow you to traverse this huge map via sea a lot more easy, and this is great to see as well. And who knows, maybe they'll add more to this over time, and we'll see. Silent Gasp, thanks for the 5. He says, "Sup, Air? How wonderful will this map look as a single color of the specific faction you choose to paint it with?" Looking forward to this. Yeah, this is going to be the ultimate Total War challenge now from here on out, which is to paint this entire map. It'll be the ultimate Total War trophy collector edition to paint this entire map, all 554 settlements to the color of your faction. It's going to be huge. Thanks, Silent Gasp. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's sea lanes for you. It's going to be great. I think this is a cool addition. It's good to see them continue to think about the game and how it plays and put effort into it. I'm excited they're releasing this as a beta. It's going to be bad in some ways because some things probably won't be perfectly finished, and that may irritate some people. But in some ways, I'm kind of glad they're going to release it as a beta to everybody, because this might take some feedback, right? And these kind of systems could use some feedback, and I'm excited to see it, though. I think they should try it, even if it does end up taking some revisions or whatever. In any case, here we go. So it says, with the scale of Immortal Empires map in mind, sea lanes have been introduced to add flexibility to your globe-trotting adventures. Interacting with them will provide the option to travel from east to west, with the exception of the Underworld Sea, which connects the Sea of Malice to the Boiling Sea. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about here. So taking you around, I don't know which one's, is this one Koresh and this one's End? I don't know exact names of these, but in any case, any Lord or hero will be able to move into the sea lane markers, allowing them to set sail and reach their destination after being at sea for a few turns. So it's a few turns. All right, so, it's the purple one. Okay, never mind. So this is the they said the Underworld Sea. Okay, so it's the purple one. It's the Underworld Sea, my bad. So yeah, it takes you in that direction. So sea lanes, really cool, really nice to see the map. Let's talk about a few things here. End and Koresh are blank. Well, Air, that's because they're going to add End and Koresh. I really want that to be true. I do. I'm not convinced it is true. We don't know yet. And all they've said to this effect is that they have no plans on it at current. I think this is interesting. Personally, I think they've left it blank because they don't know what to do with it yet. If they do change their mind and they actually put factions in there, then great. If they don't change their mind, eventually they may just add some stuff to it. It could give them open area to play with. Or it could just be there because this is Games Workshop's IP, and this is the map, and so they made it that way. They needed to fill out this section rather than having just a big blank spot, and so it is what it is. They said specifically that the focus of Total War, Warhammer 3, and all the other games was around, what do they call it, 8th edition fantasy. And obviously Cathay and some of the other factions are not in that edition. And so they were added. So I think basically it doesn't sound like they have any plans to add Ind and Koresh or Nippon, unfortunately, but they could, and it's on the map. And if I had to take my guess, it's there either as a placeholder so that the map has the right shape, or because they intend to put something there. I don't necessarily think that means that it has to be Ind or Koresh, as much as I would hope it would be. There's no guarantee. So we'll find out more, obviously, as we go forward. It's exciting. Anyway, I'm curious to see what you all think about it. I do appreciate you all coming so that I could cover this. I covered it a little late today, but I thought it'd be more fun to cover this on stream. For those of you who are watching this afterwards as a video, I appreciate you watching. Make sure and go down in the comments and tell me what you think about it. But that's all I have for now. I'm going to go back to the stream and start discussing with the folks on the stream. But thanks for watching. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining in. I was kind of casting this first part of this both as a video and as a stream. I'd be curious to see what you all are thinking about this. I'm going to look at some of the comments here. People were talking about 74 includes potentially Red Duke, Dawnbringer. I don't know. I don't know the math on that, who they're going to add for all the lords. Whether they kind of revealed that there's some kind of DLC coming or not, I'm not sure. Pilgrim, thanks for being a member for 49 months. He says, Tretch shall rule all of the hinterlands. Is that where Tretch was typically at in the fantasy? Thanks for all the support, Pilgrim. Appreciate you being here tonight, too. We got quite the crowd here tonight. Holy cow. We got over 200 folks that wanted to come in and see this. So thanks for joining in, everybody. It's great to have you here. We're going to be playing some Mortal Empires soon. Not Immortal Empires. We're going to be playing some Mortal Empires soon, and we'll continue this discussion as we play. But I'm super excited about this. This is a huge map, and again, it was going to take something of this scale, in my opinion, to get people excited enough to get them back into the game and get it repopulated. Do you all think it's big enough? Here, let's do a poll real quick, just for fun. So, is this map big enough to be a Mortal Empires sequel? So I'm going to put this poll up here, and you all let me know. Just curious what people on here are thinking. I think it is, but don't just vote the way I say. Vote what you think. All right, so here we go. Polls up. Is this big enough to be considered a true sequel to the Mortal Empires? Like I said, I think it is. Silent Gas said, thanks for another 5. He says, I bet they add Ind and Koresh when the old world comes out from Games Workshop. Methinks they want to update the IE map along the models, possibly. Now, that would be a really cool tie-in. It would mean a lot of things. It would mean that Games Workshop has to do a ton of work to create these factions. No doubt like they had to with Kislev. But the whole reason they created Kislev also very well could have been for Old World. Maybe not. We don't know. Maybe not. But it could be. And so that would be pretty exciting if that was the case. Maybe CA says they have no plans on it because maybe Games Workshop's not 100% sure whether they're going to get it all done. I mean, they have released very little information about Old World, so maybe they're not sure, but maybe they're leaving that possibility out there. And that would be really cool. I hope that they would do something like that. Legamus, thanks for being a member for 10 months. It says, who's supposed to be down there in Antarctica area of the map? Frost Giants? I don't know. Does anybody know that from lore? Is this just different Chaos factions down here in the southern waste at the south end of the world? Tell me what you all think right down here. So I'm not 100% sure of that. It Ain't Me says they should at least make the territory of Ind and Koresh playable even if they don't add factions. Now, see, It Ain't Me. I think they will eventually. I think they will eventually, even if they don't add those factions. Like I said, this leaves a lot of space open for them to do things with. And they probably will. I think they probably will. Let's see. Rich says Uber Beastmen, ODM. Loopy says Demon Beastmen hybrids. It's the Southern Gates, the demons mostly. People are talking about what they say is down in their south. Zombie Demon Pigwins. Strategos. Chaos Mutants and Beastmen. Beast Fiends, exactly. Okay, Beast Fiends. Australian Norskins. I love it. Oh, that's good. Australian Norskins. Chaos Penguins. Yep. Beast Mons. Let's see. Take 9 says they should absolutely incorporate Chaos Realms into this map somehow. Some demon lords could start there and could act as sea lanes for various chaos. Now, I would be fine with them somehow finding a way to incorporate Chaos Realm as long as it didn't have the narrative that comes from the Chaos Realms campaign. And I think most people would probably feel the same, right? Like if there was some kind of side quest you could do where you could take the war onto Chaos's front porch and you teleport into the Chaos Realms and fight there, that'd be pretty cool. And maybe they will add something like that. Again, and I think what people are mostly wanting to make sure of, though, is that this is no narrative. It's a sandbox-driven campaign. But I agree. I think that'd be a pretty neat idea, honestly. Like, make use of those assets that you've already had there. So if you take out the narrative and the mechanics, I don't think people would have an issue with the idea that, hey, like, I can go invade into the realms of chaos. And honestly, they could make it, like, super insane. If you go into the realms of chaos, maybe there's, like, really cool weapons or magic items you could pick up. But, I mean, it is, like, stacked with demons. Like, huge stacks of demons. That would be pretty fun, like as far as a risk-reward type challenge. And it wouldn't have a narrative tied to it. Anyway, so let's keep talking about this. I'm going to bounce over to the Immortal Empires gameplay, and let's keep talking. Keep the conversation rolling with anything you want to. And let's take a look at the poll, by the way. So the poll, we got 156 votes, and that's pretty good participation because most of the folks we got here, 88% of the people felt like it was big enough, and only 12% felt like it was not. So it seems like the overwhelming majority of folks do think that CA have made the map large enough. I think they have. Now, could they make it bigger? They certainly could. You've got End and Koresh there that are not filled out. And they added the Dragon Isles and the Shadowlands and all that stuff into the Immortal Empires map. Feasibly, they could add everything, right? Anyway, let's play some Bellagar Iron Hammer campaign. This one's for you, Praetani. This one is for you. I know he probably won't be watching it right now because he's in bed, but... Let's see, Nagash going to take it all anyway. Legamus, you bring up an interesting point. How many... Here, this will be the next poll. Let's throw another poll up there. Will Nagash eventually be in Game 3? All right, so that's the next poll. Do we think Nagash is going to be in Game 3? I will tell you what I think whenever the poll's over, because I don't want to influence the poll. Anyway, that one's up. Go vote on it. Do you think Nagash will end up in Game 3? It's funny, though, because Legamus brought that up, so I figure we'll take a vote on this one. We'll take a look at it. Henry says, Grand Cathay got expanded in the new map. It got serious potential to become a massively powerful force, especially with the sea lanes. Well, that's good. I imagine Cathay should be large, especially if it's kind of like a fantasy stand-in for China, right? Which is a large country with a huge population. Stratigus says that Yin Yin, the Sea Dragon mod for Cathay, is giving me hope for actual Yin Yin DLC down the line. I need to check that one out, because people have mentioned that mod. I haven't gotten to see it yet. So I'd like to see it. Alright, let's see. Ronnie Ironbrow, our runesmith. Rune of Slowness. You can never go wrong with a good Rune of Slowness. Hammond, thanks for the 2. He says, you never had the makings of a varsity athlete. I don't know where that came from, but no, I haven't. I don't think I ever... Well, I was a varsity athlete, all right? I was. Now, granted, my high school was only, like, my class that I graduated with was only, like, 89 people. It was in a small town. But I was on the varsity cross-country team because even though I was terrible, only 5 people signed up. So I ran varsity cross-country. I even participated in the state cross-country meet for 2A in Oklahoma. And believe it or not, I did not come in dead last. It was very close. I came in 48th out of 50. But I didn't come in dead last. And I also played on the varsity golf team a couple of times in high school, so Technically, I was a varsity athlete, although I would definitely agree with your statement that I was not the makings of a varsity athlete, and I'm still not. Thanks for the 2, Hammond. Appreciate it. Oh, man. So let's see how the poll's going here. Let's check it out. So, will Nagash eventually make it into the game? 76% of people think yes. 77% right there at the very end. So people snuck in some more votes. I agree. I think he is going to make it in. I think he is.
True king of
I don't know if it's like legendary hero, but probably with his own faction. I bet we do end up seeing Nagash eventually. Dementia, thanks for the 10. He says the settlement immediately above Hawkland makes me think of the Brass Citadel as an early game chaos threat for the Empire to deal with. Now that would be fun. Dementia, thank you for the 10. Thanks so much for the support, and you bring up an interesting conversation. And I think I'll go ahead and run another poll on this real quick. I'm going to actually have to play the game at some point, but let's get this poll in here just because another fun one. So the dynamic in-game scenarios. Exciting or no? Curious to see what you all think about the dynamic in-game scenarios that they've mentioned. I spelled scenario wrong. All right, I think I fixed it. All right. So yeah, let's take a quick poll on those, see what people think about it. So here goes the poll, what you think about whether the dynamic in-game scenarios are going to be exciting. And then let's talk about what Dimension brought up here with the Brass Citadel being an early game chaos threat, because that would technically probably be one of those dynamic in-game scenarios. That would be fun. And they say dynamic in-game. I can't remember, did they mention that these were always going to be at the end of the game? Or did they mention that it could potentially be early in a game? I don't recall what the mention of these was. I know they mentioned that it could change the late game to try and prevent it from being a steamroller, but I don't remember if they said anything about it being there earlier. Anyway, thanks, Dementia. We'll talk about it here. Thanks for bringing up the in-game scenario discussion as a whole. Silent Gasp, thanks for the 5. It says the only optional narrative needed in the IE map, prevent Manfred from literally stabbing Balthasar Gelt in the back. You can save the old
Bellagar.
I don't know. I would be okay with the idea of stabbing Manfred in the back pretty much any time, except for when I'm playing as Manfred. But yeah, I don't know. People just don't want any narrative. They want it to be just like full-on Samba, but I like the reference. I think he's obviously referencing it. This is, again, me working off very limited knowledge of lore, but Silent Gasp, if I'm right, you're referencing the fact that isn't that the way that actually happened in the end times? Like Manfred kind of backstabbed everybody and made it possible for Chaos to actually basically win in the end times. All right, people are saying mid to late game. They said mid-late game variety events. Good, I'm glad they're saying mid and late game. We want all. It would be way more fun if it's happening in the mid and late game, in my opinion. It'd be cool to have kind of multiple events. Maybe the mid game ones obviously wouldn't be quite as large, but it'd be some kind of event to potentially shake things up or give you something different. And then a late game event hopefully is optionally something really huge, kind of like it was whenever you were playing as. Oh, and an army starting right behind us. Not to tolerate that. Something large, kind of like the Chaos Invasion was in the late game, I'm hoping.
For the ancestors!
Alright, well these guys are going to get a dwarf stomping if anybody ever did. Alright, let's get this battle started. Give these greenskins a good old-fashioned Dawi beatdown, the likes of which our ancestors would be proud. Oh man, they were spread wider than I thought they would be. That's not great. Let's get some rune magic rolling. Rock and ruin, baby. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. All right. I blew them all up, and one of the goblins is like, this stinks. That couldn't have been any more timely. Oh, that was great. It's blown up by giant rune magic. This stinks! Oh, those goblins. That timing was just about perfect. Why doesn't YouTube send me notifications turned on the bell? Well, Brock, that is YouTube anymore. The only notifications they send are the ones that they think will make them the most money. Ergo, the algorithm and all of its beautiful glory. A discussion that I won't get too deep into tonight, but I hate the YouTube algorithm, and I miss the good old days of YouTube when it was based on subscribership. But yeah, those days are long over, so I guess there's not much need in discussing it. Here, let's take a look at the poll real quick. It looks like I've got a tab over, so I'll have to hurry back. So dynamic in-game scenarios, 92% the folks in the poll felt like that they were excited for it. So that's, I mean, we're not representative of the entire Total War community here, but you know, that's a good sign, I think, that people are excited for it. So dynamic in-game scenarios, I can think of some that would be fun, and I think they even mentioned some of these, so if I'm repeating something they mentioned, I guess it is what it is, but like greenskin uprisings or like WAs coming in would be really fun. Maybe a bunch of Dark Elf Corsairs show up on your coast if you're near the sea. If you're playing as Chaos, maybe Oxyotl shows up and, you know, starts slapping all over in your home territory. I mean, I could think of a bunch of things that'd be really fun, and they could come up with a whole bunch. Like maybe you're playing as the Vampire Coast, and Croak rises up to, you know, save the Great Plan, and comes with a ton of forces. Like, they could do a whole bunch of really cool stuff, and I would love to see it. So there would be kind of almost endless possibilities for dynamic in-game scenarios. And the other cool thing about the dynamic in-game scenarios is that they could add to it all the time, right? So let's say that you got a patch coming, you know, they're doing a DLC and a patch and updating the game. They could also throw in new scenarios just to keep spicing up the game as time goes along. They could add in options where you can pick which in-game scenario that you want to have, or you could leave it random. The difficulty of the in-game scenario maybe being able to be turned up and down at will. I think a lot of things like that would be very fun. The Gobos are saying it stinks still, so I'm glad they're not happy with the situation. Some more beautiful rune match. You know what? This game doesn't look quite as good as Warhammer 3. This is still a pretty looking game, you know? Warhammer 3 definitely has better textures. But honestly, I'm getting a, you know, pretty decent performance in this one, and I have the unit scale on Ultra. I have the graphics on Ultra right now too, and I'm streaming all at the same time, so can't say that about Warhammer 3. It taxes your system to the max.
I speak my lord's will.
Alright, so we are going after the greenskin leadership. Let's get Bellagar over here. Looks like they got a wah going off right now. My hammers are probably having a field day. Snakeman invasion from Koresh and In as an in-game scenario, that would be cool. Even if you don't add the faction, maybe you add some kind of cool thing. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do. Nidibus, thanks for becoming a channel member. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Being a channel member is a great way to support the channel if you're able to. So definitely appreciate it, Nidibus. You get to use the custom emojis we've got for you, and you get the nice Carthage shield next to your name. It will change colors the longer that you are a member. You get one of the cool gold ones like Strategos or some of the others out there. Legamus also. But yeah, thank you, Nidibus. Appreciate you being a channel member and being here. Hope you're enjoying the stream tonight. Henry, thanks for the 10. He says, currently playing a Warhammer version of Where's Waldo. I call it Point Out Patchy. Have not found him yet. Warhammer version of Where's Waldo. I call it Point Out Patchy. I like it. I like it. Maybe you know, they'll never do it, you know, but maybe we should get CA or someone to make a mod where it like randomly names. This is a cool mod idea. Maybe we need to do this and like play it on stream. If someone knows how to mod, and maybe they can help me with this, like it will randomly assign the name of some lord in one of the like however many hundreds of factions to Patchy. And if you run into him and kill him, you get some massive like treasury bonus or something like that. We'll call it the Point Out Patchy mod. Honor of Henry. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate the support. Thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We got a big crowd tonight, and I'm excited to be here with you all and keep talking about Immortal Empires because, quite frankly, I'm very excited for Immortal Empires. I think that it is going to be a lot of fun. It's shaping up nicely so far. Again, it's not out. Don't know for sure. I'm easily on to a hype train for any Total War game, so I'll warn you all of that.
True king of
But
peaks.
I feel like I have a fair reason to be getting excited. That map was absolutely enormous. It's gonna kill off our miners. Oh well, I don't want them. It's something else. Rest in pieces, miners. Patchy threw you away. Skaven slave in-game horde. Literally 1 million Skaven slaves. Come onto the map. There you go. That'd be great. You start melting your GPU and your CPU. I'd be down for it. I would be down for it. Oh, we got a Dawnstone? Yeah, we did get a Dawnstone. That'll be a nice pickup. Nagash really hates the Skaven clans in the Southland. Well, that would be a cool ad then. Let's occupy Karak Bufdar here. Sea lanes. So let's talk sea lanes. I'll go ahead and throw another poll up here real quick. So sea lanes. Do you like sea lanes based on what we know? All right. So another poll I'm going to throw out here. Do you like sea lanes based on what we know so far? Go ahead and ask that now while we're playing so we can continue this discussion. I mean, for me, and I'll let you all go ahead and start voting, and then I'll actually talk about it in just a second. Like I said, I'll hold on to it. That way I don't influence it. Any chance of the Air vlogs coming back? I mean, I don't know. Would anybody want to watch a vlog by me? I don't know. I don't seem like I would be that interesting in a vlog. I made a few back in the day, I guess. Wasn't a lot. Just an old man now. Like, so if people have interest in such things. Grab Route Marcher. It's always helpful to get. And let's grab Inspiring Presence. Go here. Let's see. All right, so the poll's well underway. I'll start talking about sea lanes. You all can keep voting. So I think the sea lanes are a really cool idea. It's a simple idea. It's an idea that has been kind of used before in Empire Total War, but you know, I'm fine with like recycling things from the past, especially if you bring them back, use them to at least as good effect, maybe better, right? Nothing wrong with that. So I'm excited for sea lanes. I think it's a good addition. It does address the fact that, and I'm just assuming right now because they said some of the starting lord positions could change, I believe, in some of their stuff. I mean, I would be shocked if some of the starting lord positions don't change. But in any case, let's say that you're playing as like Katep, and you're starting way over in the west end of Nagaron, and you really want to fight Cathay, but you can't do it until turn 450 because they're all the way across the map. I mean, the sea lane's great for that very reason, because now I can traverse over there. I mean, it makes sense. I think it's hard to argue against it. It seems like that you have to pay a couple of turns, basically, like you have to sit around for a couple of turns in the sea lane as kind of like the punishment for using the fast travel, but that it's still way better than having to traverse all the way across the map. So yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to be a pretty nice addition to the game, and it looks like most of you all agree with me too. I'll go in that poll. So it looks like most of you agree that the sea lanes are going to be a nice addition. Let's see, Captain Pip says, I don't mind it. Advice or updates are vlogs. Yeah, I mean, it could be. It could be, like, whenever I update content on the channel or going to launch a new series or something, that might be a time to do it. I'd like to paint more miniatures, too. I haven't gotten a chance to paint in a long time, and I need to paint Mrs. Ayer's skink army. Might be kind of fun to record some of that. I'd like to learn how to play tabletop Warhammer. I have my army basically completed. It's an army of Stormcast Eternal for Age of Sigmar, and I have a skink army that I'm building for Mrs. Ayer. I was going to try and have her help me, you know, as we learn together to try and do it. So, could be something we could show. Karak Bufdar here. Go ahead and go with the growth. Take my own advice for my video. I do want to keep making Total War tip videos as well. I'm gonna have to get those back up and running this week, but I'm just a little behind. Work is so busy these days. Like, it is so busy. It's been making it really challenging for me to make content, period.
I stand defiant.
So it's been difficult. But I'm doing my best to try and keep stuff coming. Let's see. Let's recruit some units here. I want some quarrelers with great weapons for sure. And I'm going to take a couple of... one great weapon, one standard. There we go. Because our upkeep is going to be really high until we're back in control of Karak 8 Peaks. Right. I'm going to buff up my Dwarf Warriors a little, because we're going to be dependent on Dwarf Warriors for quite a while, so I'm going to try and do a little bit to get them stronger. Unfortunately, we're not playing as Grombrindle. Grombrindle would have our Dwarf Warriors going absolutely ham. Neck's kind of hurting, probably because I've been sitting in front of a computer all day.
To battle.
Let's see.
On to vengeance.
Get some of the comments here. Henry Asher says, I think you should be able to travel between the edges of the map since the world is spherical, but I don't like the mid-map skips. You know, I'm actually kind of okay with some of the mid-map skips. I get where you're going. Like, you're saying you don't want to just have magical jumps all over the map. That I kind of get, but I don't mind some of the mid-map skips. Like, maybe there's like a sea lane you could have like in a very few places to kind of get certain traversal, but you know, I think the way they did it right now is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. It gives you a way to not have to sail all the way around the south end of Lustria in order to hit the west to east sea lanes. And then they have that same thing down by End and Koresh, which allows you to hit the east to west sea lanes. I think they've probably mostly implemented it the way that you're saying there. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference from what you were thinking. Underground Ocean, which is why it's mid-map near... Now, Underground Ocean, that's interesting. I didn't know that from the fantasy, but I know I've seen like Dawei ships that kind of look like almost like submarines or ironclads. So was there like legit submarines in Dreadfleet? Or the fantasy books or lore or something?
Bellagar,
did we have like Warhammer submarines? Because that'd be pretty interesting, and all the more reason why CA really needs to get their crap together and provide us with some Dreadfleet IP. Get naval battles into this game. Send in the Monkey King. Look at this. So you all help me out a little bit. Who is the Monkey King? Here mentioned a whole bunch. Must be something from lore. I'm not familiar with it. Who's the Monkey King? Someone help explain it for me.
King of 8 Peaks.
You don't mind. Yeah. Henry says, I suppose as long as they don't go overboard with it like 50 different lanes. No, I agree. They shouldn't do that much stuff. I agree. Yeah, definitely should not be that much going on. Needs to be limited. So Shrewd says he's a Cathay legendary lord. How do we know he's a legendary lord? Cathay wasn't even a faction in 8th edition, right? But was it in, like, some books? Stolen from Journey to the West. He took over. Isn't that legend? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is. He took over Cathay. He took over Cathay at one point. Man of War was the naval Warhammer, very OP. I thought it was called Dreadfleet was the IP. I don't know. Cathay was never a faction, it just had lore references. Okay, so yeah, the Monkey King is a Chinese deity. Interesting. Henry says, Eric explained to me the whole Monkey King is desperately trying to resist saying, I know he's the king as far as we're all concerned, but that's funny. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like that he very well could be DLC for Cathay then. Like, if there's limited references to Cathay and lore, then those references probably become more likely all the time in order to become DLC. Dreadfleet and Man of War were both Warhammer naval games. Okay, good to know. All right.
Yes.
We should probably leave the sparring chamber there, except for the fact that I already get tier 2 recruiting from it here for now. So I'm gonna tear that one down for the time being. Let's go ahead and do some character upgrades here. Sharpen weapons. Melee damage would definitely be helpful, because dwarf units don't do the great weapon damage most of the time. Plague Fleet was the expansion for Man of War. What? Harambe's the Monkey King of Cincinnati. Oh my gosh. I ever told you all that I love the comments. Alright, let's see here. Going. What other kind of stuff do you all hope makes it into Mortal Empires? So they've told us about sea lanes, they've told us about dynamic mid to late game scenarios, reworked, what do they call it, victory conditions. They mentioned that they will rework starting positions. They mentioned that they would rework or add factions for all of the legendary lords. They mentioned that they would be looking at some of the faction mechanics. What other stuff is it that you all need to see in order for Warhammer 3 to be the experience that we all wanted and expect it to be a proper sequel to Game 2? And in my mind, proper sequel means it stomps the past one because of how awesome it is, okay? So what do you all think the game is going to need in order to really become the sequel that we all want it to be? So be very curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Lord of the England.
And I have ideas on this. I want to hear a little more about what you all are thinking.
Let's go, lads! Come on!
Holy crap, Protocol! Been a while, man. He says, Air, how's it going? Sorry I haven't been able to join the streams lately. Work has been insane for me. Well, dude, it has been insane for me as well. Absolutely insane. He says, started a new job, which has been exciting. Well, that's awesome. Glad you got a new job. I hope it's going great. He says, I've been subbed the whole time, though, and I find time to watch when I can. How's your Star Drake? You know what? Funny you should ask about the Star Drake. Let's grab him, and I'll try and get him on camera. Show you how he looks. I'm pretty darn proud of the Star Drake, by the way. All right, hold on, Protocol. I'm gonna get him on screen here for you. I gotta size myself up here so that you all can see this better on screen. So try and ignore giant me. We're gonna get the Star Drake up here, but here he is, Protocol. So this is our Lord Celestant on Star Drake. This thing took me absolutely like months to paint, but I am extremely proud of it. It won't show up fantastic on this camera. I've got some pictures up of it, like in my community feed. Even got the basing done on. I've got like a Astro Granite base going on down here, but yeah. So this was really challenging to paint, like supremely challenging because I'm relatively new. But I took my time with it. I watched a lot of videos. Duncan Rhodes, who I know is no longer with Games Workshop, I think he has his own channel, but all of Duncan's old videos on how to paint the Star Drake saved my bacon. But yeah, it turned out absolutely awesome, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that to like pat my own back. Like I've painted models before in my life and they sucked. And this one I look at and I'm like, dang, man, I'm actually kind of proud of that. Like it looks good. I know there's people out there who paint way better than me, so I'm not saying I'm like top of the class or whatever, but I'm definitely proud of it. This is the first massive figure that I've ever painted. And honestly, I'm working on my first army. But anyway, for all of you who don't know, Protocol funded this very generously and asked me to paint it and gave me the money to go get it and paint it. And so I did. And so I feel like definitely needed to take the time and appreciate him for it. So thank you, Protocol. And it was an awesome experience. And I definitely can say that I love miniatures and painting miniatures. I haven't gotten to do it much lately, unfortunately. But I do love it. It has been a real enjoyable hobby to take on. So I hope I get to do it more because I liked building models when I was younger, but I haven't done it in a long time. And then I also figured I would just really, really suck. And so I was kind of scared to do it because I wasn't that great at building miniatures or models whenever I was younger. At least I always thought my stuff ended up being real crappy. But you're older, take your time to learn something, use that patience that you gain being an old person like me. And it worked out really well, I thought. Nikki says I've painted for 45 plus years, and that would be a challenge for me to do. Yeah, it was a challenge. Like I said, it took months, many hours, like many dozens of hours, not more, to paint it. Because I would have to do things real meticulously because I don't have the skill to do anything quickly. Oh dang, we went to the negative.
Revenge incarnate.
We're operating a little bit in the negative.
Bellagar Ironhammer.
We can probably mostly fix it by just putting the toolmaker in here. I really should have growth buildings, but I'll put the toolmaker in just to make sure we don't get any more negative. We should probably go take out this cave-in while we got an opportunity. And then we could get attacked by the goblins basically at any moment as well.
Lun's air.
I'm gonna kind of bounce over here. That's in Tylean territory. Where's our territory? I want to stay in our territory where I can punish a little bit. We probably want to make a run for Skaven Blight and knock them out early before they get to be a real problem. Hey, thanks for all the kind words and people commenting on the Star Trek painting. You know, whether you're saying it to just be nice or because it actually looks good, I appreciate it. It was a lot of work, and it was really fun, really exciting. I hope it made Protocol proud. I didn't look for his comment anyway, so I can find it. It says it looks amazing. Great job, man. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, that wouldn't have been possible without you. So I hope that it does it for you. So. See, is that you actually playing? No. Lova Posey says, are you playing the Immortal Empires map? No, I figured someone would accidentally misread that, though. When I put it up earlier, I was like, are people going to think I'm clickbaiting? Like, I clearly said I was going to play Mortal Empires, but, you know, people would get excited and read through it. No, I do not have access to Immortal Empires. I wish, right? I would love to be playing that right now, but I have no such thing. I wish we were playing Game 3 right now in the Immortal Empires. We are playing Mortal Empires. Not to be confused.
Our ancestors would be proud.
I'm playing the next best thing.
Seeking vengeance.
It's actually the current best thing, not the next best thing. The next best thing is hopefully Immortal Empires. I'm playing the current best thing.
You have my hammer.
Alright, so we're off to Skaven Blight. I'm gonna go try and pay a visit there. It almost looked like he was raiding, but he's not. The border prince is here. Still running in the negative, even with the toolmaker. Kind of sucks. I'm gonna need to earn some money, and I can't really spend at the moment. Nikki says it really does look nice. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. It says being able to play your chosen faction's lord in a PvP style arena would be really interesting. First player style arena, your own chosen faction. I'm not sure what you're talking about with like Warhammer. I mean, because you have PvP in this game. I guess I don't fully understand what you're getting at there. Let me know. Curious what you're thinking. Alright, Skaven Blight is looking juicy. Looking ripe for the taking. Get some more comments here. Captain Pip had to go. Thanks for joining us, Captain Pip. Yeah, a lot of people appreciate it. I thought it looked good, so thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I love painting the miniatures. I'm very excited if we ever actually get to hear more about Old World Warhammer. Not that I don't like. I mean, I have an Age of Sigmar's army, one for me, and then I got the Skink army from the Sarah. It's all Age of Sigmar. Not that like Age of Sigmar is like disgusting, revolting. I can't handle like. But you know, I play this game. This game is based on Warhammer Fantasy Battles, which is no longer out there, right? I guess it is. You can buy it used to still play the 8th edition, right? It's not something that Games Workshop is actively selling. I'm very excited for it because to see miniatures start to like re-release that tie in with these games that I play and love now, that would be really exciting. And I would absolutely get into that. And so I think that was part of the reason why I wanted to start painting some Age of Sigmar stuff, because I wanted to learn more about it. Like, hey, what is the whole tabletop thing all about, right? I play these games on computer. I really enjoy them. And so I was like, you know what? And then, of course, there was a ton of you all here on the channel that were encouraging me, saying, Air, you should go try it. You should try to paint. It's really fun. Tabletop's really fun. Everybody kept telling me to try it. And folks like Protocol and others jumped in, were donating, saying, hey, go do it. You know, go learn how to paint. And I'm really glad I did. really glad that I did. Because it is very fun. You know what? Can I... Oh, you can't reset the skill points. We respec. We can respec. I'm using a respec mod. Because, yeah, they didn't have the Grudge Raker. I want the Grudge Raker. I know a lot of you like the ranged one. And we can always respec this later if we want to, right? But I think the Grudge Raker is kind of funny. This one, we already have Fear, so it's kind of a waste, honestly. But let's do that. And here, Cinder Shell and Flash Bomb. There we go. So we got the Grudge Raker. That's right, Killscribe. There's going to be grudges. Thanks for joining tonight. Speaking of the Great Book of Grudges, we got to retake Karak 8 Peaks, defeat Crooked Moon, or win 5 battles against Crooked Moon, which I believe is in control of Karak 8 Peaks. No, that's the 8 Peak Loonies or whatever. I think this is just Skarsnik's faction. Capture and occupy Ekrund, which is way back on the way to 8 Peaks. And defeat Clan Moors. Okay, well, I mean, those are some good grudges. Those are definitely some grudges that a dwarf can identify with. Let's see, Pyric says I had to step away and didn't get to see you show off your miniature. Well, there's a rewind. You should be able to use like the little rewind DVR thing that YouTube offers. You should be able to scroll back and see it. I had the camera sized up to where you could see it better. Let's go ahead and fight this. I don't see a caster that has Warp Lightning, so this should be fun to fight. Does anybody else just like start to die a little inside whenever you have to fight against the Skaven and one of their characters in the garrison has Warp Lightning? Let's see. Hope we get Chaos Dwarves before the end of the year. Complete with Murder Choo-Choos. I think Chaos Dwarves is probably one of the factions that you can basically guarantee is going to be a DLC. I mean, since they won't confirm and have said that they have no plans on like End, Koresh, Nippon, Araby, I think Chaos Dwarves are all but guaranteed to be in the game. The question is just when, probably. Are they first? Is there other things that CA plans first? But to me, Chaos Dwarves are like a guarantee, almost, at this point. Like, they, to me, it might as well be 100%. Like, they're going to be in the game. You all tell me if you think that I'm wrong on that, but I don't think so. Let's see, Marcus Oliveira Nunez says, dwarves or elves, which one's my favorite? Oh, dang, man, that's tough, actually. I like both a lot. Probably because they are both in Lord of the Rings, and I also really like Lord of the Rings. I know it's a different universe, but both of them have a really cool aesthetic, and are a lot of fun to play. I enjoy both their campaigns. I think High Elves and Dwarves are probably, like, I could easily say my favorite campaigns, at least at the moment. Kislev is becoming a favorite faction of mine too, but because they don't have access to a full world map yet, you know, it's a little different with them. But I definitely really like Dwarves and High Elves. I think that the High Elves in campaign are a deadlier faction, probably overall. Oh my gosh! Oh, I forgot we were playing Clan Scryer. Ouch. It hurts. We got warp nuked. Holy crap! I just got a warp nuke of a donation here from Protocol. Holy smokes, Protocol. $100, he says, a little seed money for your next project. From all the way back at the launch of Shogun 2 to now, thank you so much for all the entertainment, keeping at it. I've seen you go from being single with your little cat to now having, oh man, if you were watching me when I was single in the apartment with the cat up until now, then it has been quite the trip, sir. Thank you, Protocol. Yeah, that was a long time ago. think it was 2010 when I moved into the apartment, me and Achilles, the cat. And yeah, I got married to Mrs. Heir. I've got 2 little heirs now. So Protocol has been here through the thick of it. And Shogun 2 was particularly exciting in Protocol. That was the first time I ever had any interaction from Creative Assembly. Creative Assembly, I got this random email one day from someone claiming to be a member of CA and wanting my address so they could send me a package. And I was like, am I about to get like a mail bomb or some anthrax or something? I had no idea what's going to happen. Took a risk, and it's still sitting over on my shelf right now. In fact, I can go grab it and maybe show you all later. I have a signed copy of Shogun 2, like an actual CD copy of it. CD-ROM hard copy that all of the staff at CA signed, or all the staff that this employee was able to get to sign it. It's pretty exciting. It's definitely still a cherished possession that I have, so pretty excited about it. But yeah, I started off with Rome 1 videos even before 2010. I want to say it was like a year or 2 before that when I was still in college. My computer was absolutely awful. I'm surprised I was able to even make videos, but you didn't even have HD on YouTube back then. Protocol, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for all the years of support. I should be paying you, not the other way around. I'll make sure that you continue to get a lot of awesome content, though. I've got some really fun stuff coming up. I've been playing that Starship Troopers game now. We've got the Warhammer campaigns going to continue. I've got some classic campaigns going to be coming as well. I'm going to be starting a Rome 2 campaign fairly soon when we finish my Fall of the Samurai campaign. Keep an eye out for that if you enjoy the classic stuff or the historical Total War. So that will be there. Yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff, Protocol, so I hope that is my way to repay you, is I will keep making as much content as I can. And honestly, like, I am very busy. I started working this morning, and I'm not the world's busiest person. This is not me complaining, right? I'm glad to have a job. I'm just saying, I started working at 7:30 this morning, my day job. I didn't finish until well after 5, and I only had like a quick lunch break part way in. What are we about to get slapped with here? Is this another warp? Oh, okay, that's a summon. I thought we were about to get warp nuked again. I was like, please, no. Great Horned Brat, don't do this to me. But yeah, I have very little time. Very little time. I spend a lot of time with my boys, as I should, and with my family. I've got to maintain a house, mow the lawn, stuff like that, get things done. I don't have a lot of time to make content, and there have been times where it would certainly have been more convenient for me to just stop making content, right? And to accept the fact that times have changed, that I was really busy, and that I have a lot of other things to do. And some people might be, well, Air, maybe you should if you need to. Well, if the time ever comes where I have to, I will. But, I keep making the content for 2 reasons. 2 reasons. First and foremost is because of folks like Protocol and many others of you who are here tonight and those who can't be here tonight who just really enjoy the content. And it would make me profoundly sad to stop making that content for the people who enjoy it, because, it's a small thing, really, in the end, for me to make this for you all. Yes, I'm very busy, but I get to play games. I get to play games, and then other people get to enjoy it. Right? That seems like a win-win. So I don't want that to stop. I want it to keep going. And I just don't want to quit. I enjoy it too much. And so even though the time has become very challenging, I just can't even begin to find it anywhere in my heart to say, you know what, I'm going to have to stop. It would be sad. Like, I would literally cry, probably, if I had to stop making videos. I like it. And I've done this for so long, it would be like leaving family or something, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like with you all. It feels like I got family here. So I would really hate that if it had to come to it. And if it does, it does. I can't stop it, right? Life is life, and it has to come first. But I really do not want to stop making content. And I hope I don't have to, anytime in the near future or ever, for that matter. So, anyway, yeah. And then the second reason I continue to make content is, well, I probably said it, right? I said, first of all, it's because there's folks out there like Protocol, like all of you, who enjoy it, but also I like it. like I said, this has kind of become a part of my life, and to see it go would be extraordinarily saddening. Yeah, so I don't want it to go. I don't want to stop. Don't have any plans to for the moment. But yeah, things are very busy. It does make it very challenging to try and make enough content. Yeah, thank you, Protocol. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's a big night tonight. We got a lot of folks here tonight. I appreciate everybody showing up. It is fantastic to have you all here tonight, and it feels great to get to stream with you, especially after such a busy day. Like, very, very happy to be here streaming with you, getting to relax. Like I said, it's a real pleasure and honor to get to do it. All right, so we are fighting our way in. I gotta get a drink here real quick. Had to get some Bugmans since we're playing as Dawi. Legamus says, I get to experience the games through you and others because I simply don't have them. The last Total War I got to play was Medieval 2. Well, hey, look at it this way, Legamus. I mean, Medieval 2 is a great Total War, so I mean, at least the one that you got to play is absolutely awesome. So, there's that. But, you know, that I've heard other people say the same thing. And again, if that's the case, then I'm absolutely glad to provide it for you. I get to play a game, which is fun, and I enjoy. And again, if others get a benefit out of it, and they see it as a benefit, and appreciate it, then I'm happy to keep making it. So, like for instance, I mean, my channel at its peak was probably getting over 2 million views a month. And right now I'm probably only 300-ish thousand a month. So it's nowhere near its peak. And, you know, it could be easy for me to just say, well, whatever, you know, honeymoon's over, people have moved on, I'll just leave it and go spend time on other things in my life. But like I said, I like it too much. I can't. I don't want to. I want to keep doing this. So I started this channel with 0 views. And if it ends that way, then so be it. The views and the money are not the reason I started. And it's not the reason I have to continue. And I guess I'm grateful for that. I've always been frustrated that I couldn't do this full time. But at the same time, I get the benefit of never really losing that fire for it. Warner, thank you so much for the 5. He says, third reason is to remind those pesky Romans that Carthage still lives. Indeed it does, Warner. Thanks for the support. I hope work and life is going well for you. I know you're probably busy too. So Warner is a mod over on my Discord and here on the channel. So I appreciate all that Warner does for me. He is fantastic. Thank you, Warner. Appreciate you being here. Alright, let's end that battle. So, a pretty decisive beatdown for Clan Scryer, other than the fact that they warp nuked one of my quarrelers with great weapons. But to be honest, I couldn't really afford that quarreler with great weapons, so there we go. And those hammerers were definitely like playing some whack-a-mole with the Skaven there. They got 181 kills. That was nice. Yeah, thank you all. Like I said, thank you all, everybody. I love this. It's over 10 years in, and I still love it. And I have people ask me about it in the real world. They're like, oh, how long have you been doing YouTube videos? And I'll be like, like 12 years. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, no, I just like it. I can't stop doing it. So I'm addicted. I guess that's it. I see hilarious comments from you all. I see the kind comments. Like I said, it just keeps me coming back. Skaven Blight. Occupied Skaven Blight. We'll see if we can rebuild Skaven Blight into something a little more worthy of a dwarf, rather than the festering, stinking rat pit that it is. Let's improve our Quarrelers, because Quarrelers are going to be really important for us. Bellagar levels up. I'm going to continue to improve our Dwarf Warriors, because with the upkeep being really high, we're going to need really solid Dwarf Warriors. They won't be like Grombrindle's Dwarf Warriors, but we'll do our best with them. Do our best. Okay, I'm at least into the positive now. Don't have a lot of extra money sitting around, but... Romulan Dog says, more Warpstone on the way. There's Thankful and more Skaven to look forward to. Yeah, I mean, there very well could be more Skaven Romulan in Game 3. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And if what people were saying earlier about Nagash hating the Skaven in the Southlands, that very well could be a DLC by itself, right? So, but if Nagash comes, is he his own faction? Is he a legendary hero? Like, what is he? I don't know much about his lore, so I'd be curious to see what people say. Like a non-aggression pact. Adam Pritchett says, I'm not a way back viewer. Total War Warhammer 1 Bretonnia was the first campaign I viewed of yours. However, my girlfriend literally knows your voice because I'm always checking for new content. Well, hopefully I don't annoy her too bad, Adam. Hopefully she doesn't leave you because she's always happen to hear my voice in the background. But thank you so much for being a viewer for all those years, too. It's great to have you here. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Let's see where we're at. I need money.
Grudge bearer.
Said every dwarf ever. How do I say this? Gear? I can't. Anson? I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. It says the Brewmaster mod is awesome with Bellagar. What is the Brewmaster mod? I'm gonna go check it out. Thank you. I hope I'm saying it right. Gear. I'm just gonna say it that way. If I get it wrong, please feel free to correct me in the chat. Gear. Geyer? G-E-Y-R. Geyer? I don't know. I'm trying. The Brewmaster mod. Let me go look at it real quick. It made me curious here. And then T-Rex, I see your comment. I'll get to it in just 1 second. Thank you, T-Rex. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me check out this mod that was mentioned to me here. So, Gayer. Gayer? Okay. Hopefully I'm saying it right. I'm trying. I'm terrible with pronunciation. It looks Nordic of some sort. I could be wrong on that as well, but I don't know exactly the origin. It's a cool looking name. I wish I could pronounce it right. Gayer. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to get the Steam Workshop pulled up here. It says it is. Okay, cool. Sweet. I don't know which country you're in. The only country in that vicinity I got to visit, and I was lucky to get to visit just briefly to Norway. I'd love to see the rest of that whole area. I'd love to see Norway, again, Sweden, and is it Finland? I'd love to see it all. Gaelic? Icelandic. Okay, Icelandic. Awesome. Iceland would be really cool to see, too. I've had a lot of friends and family who have visited Iceland. I have not gotten the chance to go, but I've seen pictures and stuff. It looks amazing. Like, just the insane uniqueness of the landscape alone would be a reason to go see it. Not to mention, I'm sure the people there have an awesome culture and stuff that'd be really neat to see. So thank you. Appreciate the support. And I'm going to go check out that mod now. Brewmaster. Let's check it out. So Brewmaster. Dwarf Brewmaster, sure enough. Steel and Faith. You have to have Steel and Faith to use it? S&F DLC. Okay, no. It looks like there's one here that you don't have to have for it. So the Dwarf Brewmaster, who can heal units in the battlefield. What? That does look awesome. Dang. Thanks for the call out, Gear. Or Gear. Gear. I think I'm saying it close to right. I don't know. Probably not. I'm trying, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. I will definitely check out that mod. Maybe use it next time. T-Rex, thanks for the 20. He says, thanks for staying committed to making videos, Air. You're an inspiration as a creator. Well, I don't know that I'm an inspiration. You all inspire me. But yes, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the videos. Like I said, as long as there's folks who are enjoying them, I will continue making them and do my best to provide what you all are enjoying. So I'm happy to do it, and I love it. Makes me happy whenever I get videos out. Do I have the range to reach here?
Vengeance.
Let's see. Thank you, T-Rex. Thank you, Gayer. Appreciate you both. Rename Skavenblight to Ironhammered. Ooh, good idea. I like it. And we did find more Skaven here. Let's auto-resolve this. I don't know that I want to occupy this territory because it's going to make me very little money. I think I'm just going to sack it, make a little extra cash, and then I'll turn around and raise it as soon as I have the opportunity.
Revenge incarnate.
Yeah, we need the cash. So Skaven had already grabbed to borrow, and it looks like they're probably, well, either them or the Beastmen maybe are the ones sieging
Ogres,
Magritte.
my lord. These brutish
ogres.
nomads are as strong as they are stupid. But do not...
I don't have any money to recruit ogres, but ogres, my lord. Drunk dwarves, who would have thunk it? That's right, Nikki. That's right. Oh, man. Oh, we gotta rename us. Pure Strenico says it's renamed to Rat Bastardville. I'm dying, that's good stuff. Oh, Iron Hammered and that. Oh, jeez. You're making me laugh and swear. And I'm not supposed to on the swearing, so...
One's air.
Laughing's probably okay. Oh my gosh. It's Ogre Anakin. That's right. They have the high ground. It's Ogre Anakin.
True king of 8 peaks.
Oh man. I love streaming with you all. I wish I could stream with you all full time. That would be a dream come true for sure. Streaming is so much fun. I guess just because you get the interaction with folks and you get the fun comments and ideas from people that you wouldn't have had on your own, and so it makes it that much better. So, yeah, streaming's a lot of fun. PB Famous says, any news on Rome Total War 3 or similar historical Total War title? Three Kingdoms almost doesn't count. You know what? Three Kingdoms is definitely a historical Total War in spirit, right? It does have some fantasy aspects to it because of the storied fantasy around Three Kingdoms, you know, from real life. And then, of course, it has that historical aspect, you know, from the reality of Three Kingdoms in real life. So it counts, but I get what you mean, right? I think people saw it as, in some ways, kind of like Troy, where it was kind of a toe in both worlds. You want my honest opinion, though? I kind of feel like Total War games should be a toe in both worlds. And I say that because, like, Troy is a good example. When Troy released, it was all about the truth behind the myth, is the way that CA marketed it, and it was boring. At least for me it was. It was terribly boring. It wasn't fun. And then a year later, after everybody had quit the game, they decided, you know what? We're going to go ahead and put some fantasy into it. And then I freaking loved Troy when they added the fantasy stuff into it. It was awesome.
Lord of the Underground.
Like having the fantasy stuff in it. I still like Troy. In fact, I think Troy is one of the most underrated Total War games out there right now. Because no one came back to play it by the time they added fantasy stuff to it. Troy was really well done. And really fun by the time they added that stuff. And fortunately, you know, just never really got the attention it probably deserved after all that. But, you know, I thought Three Kingdoms was a fun game. It had a lot of good stuff to it. The problem for me is that it was kind of right there in the middle of the height of Warhammer 2. And everybody was playing and watching Warhammer 2. When Three Kingdoms first came out, a lot of people were watching it, and I was having fun playing it. People just quit watching. They just didn't want to see it. People quit playing it. And so I would have been happy to keep playing it, but it just didn't really have a base on my channel. But as far as other historical Total War games, we don't have any news yet. All we know is that they're developing one. So they've said they're developing one, but that's all we got. So I don't know. Personally, I would love for it to be Empire 2. It's very likely it could be a Medieval 3, maybe something else altogether, but we just don't know yet. So, hard to say at this point. Ain't No Meaning, thanks for the 5. He says, any thoughts on NVIDIA 40 series rumors going Team Green into the year? So I watch a lot of information on tech news. So, like, I got to actually meet one of the guys once. His name's, he runs a channel called Red Gaming Tech. I think his name's Paul. His channel came to an event whenever we were both being sponsored by MSI, so I got to meet them. And so I watch Red Gaming Tech, and I also watch Moore's Law is Dead. He's another one that's a really awesome source for like tech news, leaks, and stuff like that.
Bellagar.
I've been watching them, and it sounds like both graphics cards, like from AMD and NVIDIA, are both going to be really powerful and probably pretty close performance-wise. But right now I'm using an AMD graphics card, and honestly, I mean, unless NVIDIA, and I don't think this is going to be the case, unless NVIDIA comes out and just absolutely flattens AMD in performance in like Total War games, or they offer something just unbeatable for streamers or something, I don't have any hate against NVIDIA. I used their cards for 10 years probably straight, and liked them, and they still make good stuff. I mean, if you're using an NVIDIA card, then you're in the majority, and they make great stuff. I don't want to switch back from AMD right now. I love my AMD card. It's fantastic. And it's really cool to just get to use something different. So I don't intend to switch. And like I said, NVIDIA would just have to absolutely slap AMD to get me to switch. And I don't see that happening. In fact, I kind of think AMD is going to actually be a little bit stronger this time, ultimately. Like, I think because they're making like a multi-chip design, and I feel like AMD is going to be stronger this time. Now, I don't think that means NVIDIA is going to be left behind by much, if at all. And NVIDIA might be stronger in the end. They're always pulling rabbits out of their hat. They are extremely competent. They make excellent graphics cards. And it's very possible that I could just be wrong on that. But from what I've seen and heard, I kind of actually expect AMD to actually win the overall performance crown this time. They were very close on the last one. Like, NVIDIA barely eked ahead 3090. But again, I'm not slighting NVIDIA. They make great stuff. It's good stuff. There's good cards. So, yeah. Either one. But I think if you're a person who's been waiting a very long time to buy a graphics card, it's certainly worth waiting for the launch of the cards coming at the end of the year. Because I think one of two things, maybe both, is possible. One, the pricing may be better on these new cards than they were with the last generation. Now, they very well might take it a tier higher on pricing because these are going to be expensive and powerful and stuff. But graphics cards in general are probably going to be cheaper because there's so much stock out there for the current generation. Crypto mining is absolutely on a nosedive, and all that stuff's going to hit the used market. And with really good graphics cards from the 30 series saturating the used market, AMD saturating the used market and new market, I mean, you very well could see some good pricing. And so the 40 series may be a good time for a lot of people to finally upgrade, because you couldn't buy a graphics card like last year. But anyway, no, fun question. I love tech news. Sorry, I get drawn off of the tech news easily. So thanks for bringing it up. Appreciate the support, by the way. Ain't no meaning. Broken Sky, thanks for the 10. He says, I don't know what to type here, and Pilgrim is no help. Are you guys still playing any Vermintide? Broken Sky, you and Pilgrim? We need to play some Vermintide again sometime. And I also really want to play There's Something Rotten in Kislev campaign with you and Pilgrim and others. So that might be something coming up in a very near future stream. Pilgrim says we're playing Vermintide right now. Good. They put some new content in it, didn't they? I haven't gotten to play it yet, but I'd also love the Something Rotten campaign to play with you. You guys have said it's really fun, so I'd like to try that one out, because I haven't gotten to play any multiplayer campaign in Total War in a very long time. I think we've oh no, it looks like the Skaven took Magritte. Alright, well, I gotta go get rid of the Skaven. Either that or the Beastmen did. That looks like Chaos Corruption. Oh, no, Beastmen took it. Okay. Beastmen took it. Okay, well, it's not Skaven. Clan Scry are still around because they got an agent here. But I'm going to leave them be for now, and I'm going to try and go put some focus on getting towards 8 Peaks or something. I mean, 8 Peaks would be better. I don't know if we're even going to be able to hold Skaven Blight, to be honest, but we'll see. White Lion Corellian is bait. Did they really make a White Lion Corellian? That'd be awesome. Just look at the wealth tab to see where they are. Okay, good idea. Thanks, Gayer.
True King.
I think those graphics cards who were used during mining must be almost ruined. Well, they could be. I wouldn't buy a used mining card, but there's probably quite a few people who will. And then some people who won't know that they're buying a used mining card. But yeah, I think graphics card prices, they've already dumped a lot, and I think they're going to go down quite a lot more before the launch of the new stuff. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if NVIDIA could be ready to launch sooner than the end of the year, but probably don't want to because they have to clear out all the stock and stuff on the old ones. They don't want to take a big loss on releasing something new. Yeah. Myarchus? Thanks for being a new member. I don't know how to pronounce that exactly right, but hey, thanks for being a new member. You get that sweet Carthage shield next to your name now. You can take advantage of those custom emojis, like some Bloodman's Ale, some Dog Dirt, or we got this Wasp Spam, all kinds of stuff. But thank you for supporting the channel. Being a channel member is a great way to support. It definitely helps monetarily support the channel quite a lot, so thank you. Do appreciate it. All the channel members out there, and of course appreciate everybody who's here tonight viewing regardless. It is great to have you all here, but thank you. I'm gonna say just Myarchus. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I'll do my best there. All right. Myarchus. Okay, thank you for giving me the phonetics there. Oh, requisition. Yeah, requisition. We love ammunition. Yeah, Skaven Blight is just going to rebel, and it's got no defenses. Dang, I'm going to have to camp in Skaven Blight for a while. I really don't want to. Dang, it's not going to let me back. I was in the city when I moved to here. Come on. Just don't know if I can afford to mess with Skaven Blight. We really need 8 peaks. 8 peaks is way the heck over here, though. It's like Badlands. All right, so here's Silver Road. So this is gonna be. Oh, I can't remember the name of the settlement here. It's the Greenskins, and then 8 peaks is gonna be right here. So we got to get all the way to here. Travel underground and get there. We'd have to hope that my army has the strength to take the settlement once it arrives, and that we don't just get flat out attacked and killed in our home settlement while we're gone. Home settlement, which is potentially going to be rebelling, so I don't know if we can just make the run. Mad dash to 8 peaks is the only way. Yeah, we may have to, because we suffer like a huge upkeep penalty. And honestly, even if we lost our homeland here, we could always come take it back. You could go establish yourself 8 peaks. I think that's probably what we should do, is just make a run for it. Let's just, hey, you know what? It's a stream. YOLO. If we die doing it, then we die doing it. We're gonna make a run to 8 peaks. 8 peaks or bust. Sorry, Karakern. Gotta take the hit. Alright, so I am going to finish replenishing. We'll park at Karak Bufdar for a turn or two. Some positive public order in here. Just grab a little extra cash. In fact, we could produce some public order to help out. Got this thing, which adds public order. Relationship with... And that may be good. YOLO! Do you like Marco YOLO? Yes, we definitely will. Hooked on Phonics is still in 2022. That's right, ain't no meaning.
Speak your words.
Air's hooked on Phonics. Let's see. Military access. Well, he wants to kill vampires. I don't know who else he wants to kill. Sure. Knock yourself out. Maybe get some ogres in the army. I wish I could. We're gonna be dead broke. Real quick. So this is really all the army we're gonna get. At least for now. I'm gonna make a run for 8 peaks. Let the run begin. Need cash. I don't know if these will pay back very quickly, unfortunately. Only 100 extra income, but it cost me 13, so that's a lot of turns to pay back. I feel like the payback on some of these buildings isn't worth it. Wish CA would address it. stealth rune on one army, you get unkillable heroes with snipe. Ooh, sounds good, Geir.
Step forth, true friend of the Ungrown clan.
Pretty sure that army isn't strong enough for 8 peaks. It may not be. Sometimes the defense of 8 peaks is pretty stout. It may not be. I'll take a trade agreement. It's not going to give me much. Okay, we did get positive public order now, though, so that's a good thing. So at least we won't get a whole bunch of rebellions. Headed to, yeah. No. Silver Road. Yeah, here. That's where we're headed. East and just a tiny bit south. Okay. I can actually jump under the sea on the next turn. I don't know if we'll be able to or not. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Didn't intend that to be a pun, but it turned out that way. People saying Cox is at it again. Shouldn't be. I haven't dropped any frames. If anything's lagging, it's YouTube. Yeah. I haven't dropped any frames, so if something's lagging, it must be an issue with YouTube. Try refreshing or something like that. I know, it's strange to have a problem and have it not be Cox, but it doesn't appear that it is. Oh, dang, look at that. Grimgor has already either come out here and... Nope, Bloody Hands is still here, so he hasn't confederated Wurzag yet. Oh, this is so risky. This is so risky. We are risking it for the biscuit. Yep, there goes Skavenblight. We got a rebellion. Tributes. I could use the tribute, actually, even though we don't have much cash. That should be worth it.
Yes. Moving out.
Across to 8 peaks. We very well could get attacked by greenskins along the way, too. Be quite bad. The sooner we go to 8 peaks, the better, though. The defense of 8 peaks is probably weaker earlier in the game. The longer you wait, it's probably going to become stronger. If you're lucky, their armies will be somewhere else on the world map. Exactly. That's kind of what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we can show up, time it just right, catch it to where their armies aren't present, and we just have the garrison to face. But I think the garrison is pretty strong, if I remember right. So I don't remember what all's in the garrison at 8 peaks. I know... What's the name of Grimgor's starting settlement? Is it Black Crag or something like that? It has, like, black works and stuff in it, which is super strong. We have several characters, though, that are going to be very hard for the greenskins to kill. So I'm hoping, like, our ethereal heroes are going to be very difficult for the greenskins to kill.
Bellagar,
unless they have very specific units or magic.
On to vengeance!
Now, Grimgor is here, and he is strong. He's Confederated Gorefang. Not surprised. The greenskins steamroll pretty hard, as of recent patches.
I am Bellagar, true king of...
What up? Yes, you can have military access. Usually has army just chilling outside. I do not have Lightning Strike, but we could respec and see if we can get it. I don't know if I have enough skill points to pick up Lightning Strike.
I'm gone.
Alright, there's the mutinous Gits. They've got some big armies with Black Orcs. Ain't gonna be easy, folks. In fact, they're probably gonna attack me on this next turn. So let's see what happens. I wonder on a respec if we could get Lightning Strike. I'll take a look at it on the next turn. I don't have any Oath Gold for anything because we haven't done anything to earn it yet. Let's end this turn. People saying you got this. Well, I don't know if we got it, but I'm gonna get something. Either a proper beatdown at the hands of the greenskins, or we're gonna be settling a grudge in an epic fashion.
I am Bellagar,
one of the two.
True king of the 8 peaks.
we can fight them without having to take their garrison at the same time, then we very well could pull it off. We have to fight their garrison amidst all of it. Not likely. Okay, they're coming to fight me underground, and see, they got the garrison here. Do we retreat and try and pick them off? Or do we just try and take them? Let's see, they got snotling wagons, a little bit of cavalry. These black orcs would be a serious threat. These biggins would be really tough as well. I would have a decent range advantage, assuming I could keep them safe. And I've got the ethereal characters. If I retreat and they attack me again, though, then we'd only have the 2 armies to take on. They did not attack me again. Dang. Alright, well... Alright, yeah, Skaven Blight's gonna go the way of the dodo here. Fortunately, it wasn't making us much money. Okay, well, their army stayed there. Let's look at our respec. Can I get Lightning Strike? Not quite. We're 1 skill point away from Lightning Strike. So if that's the case, then I'd rather have the skills that we did, because it makes my infantry better for the time being.
Lord of the England.
Alright, let's see what we can do. We can catch their armies out.
You have my hammer.
Let's see what happens here.
I am Bellagar, true king of the 8 Peaks.
Alright, Balthasar, I don't know why you think you need military access, but sure. Everybody else seems to want it. Very popular these days. Come on out of there, come on out of there. Come on out of there. They did not. Alright, look, I'm gonna try kind of like a Hannibal type strategy, right? It's the Battle of Lake Trasimene, where he kind of like marched past his enemies to try and lure them out. And they followed him and then ended up getting them. I'm gonna do that same thing here. I'm gonna march past them in the open. Oh, they intercepted me. Yes, this is what we work. See, always think like Hannibal, and then everything works out just fine. They intercepted us in the underway, which is great because it's just this one army. I can now wipe this army out singularly and have a much better chance. Plus, now I have the enemy siege holdout time, which has been lowered, so we could siege them out potentially a lot faster. Oh my goodness. Why can I Vanguard deploy everybody? Where did this come from? Because of the interception? What in the world? Or is this just that I started talking about Hannibal, so now I get a giant ambush, basically? Didn't Hannibal lose? Not at Lake Trasimene. And Hannibal didn't actually really lose much at all, honestly, until Zama. He pretty much beat the ever-loving tar out of the Romans for about, what was it, like 12 years or almost 15 years? Scipio had to take an army to Zama to finally beat him. So yes, he lost the war, but he didn't lose a whole lot of battles. So how did Hannibal die? I think he didn't. I think they think he killed himself. He was constantly pursued by the Romans. They were terrified of him. After Zama, he helped Carthage start to rebuild. They started to become powerful again. The Romans wanted him, so he took off, he left, basically went into exile in Phoenicia, and started to serve Antiochus II in his court. He actually even commanded some troops in a naval battle, but it was a naval battle. Unfortunately, he didn't have a lot of success against the Romans in the naval battle, so he didn't really end up accomplishing anything truly spectacular like he did during that war. Again, but I mean, he was always a force to be reckoned with, for sure. I'm gonna have to target. Oh no, let's target the trolls and then the black orcs. Oh, did I leave my hammerers back here? No!
Begin!
My hammers!
Plow through!
Wow. Air might have already blown this one, folks.
Quarrelers!
Wow.
Find them!
What a mistake. I'm gonna need reinforcements over here.
Charge! Move! Move to
Help out
attack!
here. Where's my runesmith? Need some assistance right there. I'm gonna try and cut down as many of these black orcs as I can. I'm also gonna need another unit to pull that way. So I done screwed up already, which is great.
I'll get my tools!
Cinder shell these guys. Okay, plop. There we go. I gotta focus the black orcs. It's actually going pretty well, despite my screw ups. My ethereal units are definitely slapping, which is good. I don't know. You stay in there and attack. We'll come help him now because we drove that unit out. What is this unit? Oh, it's stuck because of the ability I used on it.
Taking aim!
They should be free here in a moment. Alright, the black orcs got wrecked. Let's start taking out skirmishers. I need to save my character here. He's getting wrecked. I wonder if we can get him out of there. Do a rune of negation. Can I move now? Yeah, okay, now we can move. Alright, I'm trying hard to get rid of some of these skirmishers now because they are dealing us some pretty serious damage. Alright, there we go. Some more infantry here.
Attack the orcs!
Alright, I got hammers headed in. I think we can still do this. We dealt with the black orcs. Our losses weren't great. We took some losses. But at the same time, we've gained some victories here as well. Poor hammers got left out. Runesmith may die. Yeah, he might. I hope not. I got some negation on him that helped him out a lot. Just keep taking out skirmishers, because that's really the last big threat. Bellagar is over here tanking like a boss. And that's kind of what Bellagar does best, to be fair. See, these ethereal characters are brutally difficult for the enemy to kill, unless you have magic. Because the greenskins don't have a lot of magic attack, so they are terribly vulnerable to ethereal characters, not to mention the terror and fear caused by said ethereal characters. Let's go stuff this block over here. Alright, yeah, I think we got this. It wasn't without losses, though, unfortunately. Let's end the battle. Hammers showing up like the eagles in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, unfortunately, they were very late to the battle due to my stupidity. They would have been very, very useful earlier on. Hannibal poisoned himself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, is he poisoned himself rather than being taken by the Romans because he knew they would never give up trying to chase him. The Romans were utterly terrified of him. He was like the boogeyman, the Romans, and an embarrassment, right? So he was an embarrassment to them because of how badly he beat on them for so long. And defeating him was not enough. They wanted more. They wanted to, make a spectacle of him. Like I said, he was like the Roman boogeyman in the end, and so they were never going to let him go. Never, 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 never. So yeah, that's just the way that one goes. Yeah, you should go read about it if you haven't read up on it much. Again, I'm not trashing the Romans. They were spectacular in terms of the way they ran their army and their leadership. Very innovative. No question as to why they were so successful in the ancient world. And I'm not surprised when you look at Carthage's history that the Romans succeeded over Carthage. Pretty much everybody succeeded over Carthage. Carthage had a history of military blunders. Hannibal was like the sole exception to those military blunders. So Their garrison is really small.
Bellagar Ironhammer.
I feel like if we can take them, we need to do it before they can really get another army stood up, but I need some heals.
Zolrikan.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story, the Second Punic War. No matter which side you want to read it from, you should read about it. The best book I've seen on Hannibal, though, was written by, was it Alpheus Dodge or something? Oh. Something Dodge. The last name was Dodge. He wrote a book on Hannibal that was just absolutely excellent. I don't want to take the losses. Let's go ahead and fight this one. I think I can do it without losing those 2 warriors. Appius, thanks for dropping by. Says Hannibal not invading Rome was a pretty big blunder. Yes, it was. It was. A lot of people felt like he didn't have the siege engines necessary. And maybe that's true. I don't know what kind of stuff he would have needed, but to even just go and surround the city, to some extent, may have done it. But it also makes you wonder, had he gone and done that, would it have... Because one of Hannibal's objectives, for instance, was to break up the alliance around Rome. Like, Rome had a lot of Italian allies that they had kind of conquered and forced into being their allies. He tried really hard to break them up and had very little success in doing so. Makes you wonder, like, had he marched on Rome and started surrounding it, would it have caused that break? Or would it have rallied them and united them? It makes me wonder. Like, some of the what-if situations.
Dwarf warriors, come on! Come together, lads!
Oh, dang, man.
It is a reckoning. Dwarf warriors!
Yeah, would it have just rallied all the Roman allies? Made a bigger problem? Would it have worked? I don't know. He didn't do it, and he was a tactical genius, strategic genius, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he was a genius in terms of being able to command troops and put together battle plans. He didn't do it. There must have been a reason he didn't do it. I've always heard that it was because he didn't have the siege engines for it. I mean, you can still surround a city and try and starve it out. I don't know. I don't understand that piece of the situation. I've never read anything that claimed to, like, thoroughly, go through it all. Would be curious.
For the High King!
He was getting food from pillaging the countryside and he couldn't supply it, and that would make sense, and you're correct. From the things I read, yes, he was absolutely supplying his army by pillaging the Romans, which is where Fabius actually... Scipio gets all the credit, and he certainly deserves some of it because he actually defeated Hannibal at Zama. But in a way, Fabius deserves the credit for defeating Hannibal because he's the one that actually realized the proper strategy for defeating him, which was to deny him combat. Don't fight him. So Fabius became very unpopular amongst Romans for basically choosing to avoid combat with Hannibal. But that's actually probably what won the war, and then Scipio probably learned a lot from that as well, I would think. So I think Fabius doesn't get as much of the credit as he deserves for probably being one of the main reasons why Hannibal was eventually defeated. It's because he had the proper idea, which was quit playing Hannibal's game. The rest of the Romans were too prideful. They had to fight him, right? I want the big political victory. I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to be the one that defeats him. And they all just kept falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. And Hannibal would draw them into it over and over and over again. And then after Cannae, maybe beforehand, Fabius finally figures it out. He's like, look, I'm done playing games with this dude. It's like, I'm not playing the game anymore. It's like, just don't fight him. And then, of course, the Romans got frustrated because they're like, what? Romans fight, we don't do this. We don't let people pillage our countrysides. And so, he was very unpopular, and eventually they elected other people. It was before Cannae, right? And then they elected, was it Paulus and the other that came to Cannae and threw away their armies? I think it was Fabius had figured it out prior to Cannae, if I remember right. I could be wrong. And then they sent the other two in and they went to fight Hannibal and got their butts kicked. I don't remember. I forget some of the details sometimes, but it's a really fascinating story. Like I said, the Second Punic War is absolutely fascinating. Whether you're a fan of Rome, whether you're a fan of Carthage, or neither, it's really fascinating. You should go check it out. Varus, Varro, I couldn't remember what the Paulus. There's always two commanders on the Roman side, and they were alternating days, and the one that attacked at Cannae was the one that really blew it. I want to say the other one wasn't quite as sure about attacking. Could be wrong, though. But they swapped days. They replaced Fabius before Cannae. Yep, thanks, Appius. That's what I was thinking there after I'd said it, yeah. They replaced him before that. It's because it was so unpopular to do the right thing, right? See, it's just like modern-day politics. You go do the right thing as a politician, and it's very unpopular. And so it's the same thing for the Romans back then. Fabius had the right idea, but the right idea was very unpopular. The consuls, yes, consuls, thanks. That's the word I was looking for, Warner. Yep. Oh my gosh, they got another army. Oh no, that's the one that escaped. I don't know if I have the strength to take down this garrison. It is really weak. They've got towers too.
To battle?
Kind of wondering whether I could cheese it with my missile units. Because if I replenish, they're just going to start replenishing themselves and training more troops, and they'll probably be able to do it faster than I can.
Revenge incarnate.
Look at what this looks like. Yeah, see, my replenishment's going to be very slow. All I can recruit on the global is miners. No, why miners? I had a building for that. Oh, where are we? We're siege. That's why. Oh crap. It's gonna give me a victory though. Punch those guys in the face. Get them up off me. Okay, yeah, well, leave it to Crooked Moon, Mutinous Gets. Oh, how did they get an army all the way over there? That's hilarious. They got an army all the way over there. Oh, this is tricky. I think we just go... I'm going to quick save it here. But I'm going to go all in and just risk it here and try and take them out right here, right now. 14 turns until they surrender. It'd be a full-on 8 turns before they start to take attrition. But I could at least build siege towers and then continue the siege. They may come out and attack me, at which point I feel like I have a better chance of beating them because they wouldn't have towers. This is risky. I mean, we are pushing it. We are pushing it here, folks. Oh, let's see. What time is it, by the way? I gotta watch my time. Ooh, I think we have enough time. We'll try and take 8 peaks here. It's all said and done. Okay. All right. Let's see what we get here. Appius says, Cannae wasn't a joined consul army. It was one army they raised for the purpose of defeating Hannibal. They couldn't agree on only one of them getting the glory. There you go. Well, that makes sense. That'd be a problem having 2 people commanding for sure. I like the idea that Rome had going, right? Which was never investing too much power in one person, at least back in the Republic days. Obviously, they did just that later on with the Empire, but it was a cool theory that held all the way out until the modern day, which is what you see in a lot of, modern democratic republics, right, is not investing too much power into any one person. So it's a cool idea. Very ahead of its time. They are going to attack me here. I think we've got them, and if we do, we can take their settlement. Yeah, you get into modern nation states and political identities pretty quickly. The past isn't dead. so I can get a bit biased on both sides. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Western philosophers who were responsible for a lot of the thought, for instance, that led to changes in Europe and later into America's founding documents, were no doubt obviously studying Athens and Rome and all the rest. There was clearly influence from back on those civilizations into our modern day. Definitely influence there. Pretty neat to see.
True king.
They're getting reinforced. They're not waiting for the reinforcements. Let's park and get ready to shoot them. Appius is saying how they raised one mega army for the purpose of defeating Hannibal. Yep, it was an enormous army. Like, it was utterly enormous. And I'm sure even Hannibal himself had to have some degree of worry about facing it, because it was an immensely large and powerful army. I would imagine that it was probably the largest, most powerful army that the Earth had seen up to that point. I don't know, maybe one of Persia's armies had been bigger and greater back in the day, or Alexander, potentially, I don't know. But it was a massive army.
Dwarf warriors! Nothing can stop us! Kill Earth!
Alright, we're killing the snotling wagons. Flappas.
The clans unite!
Get your flappas ready.
No sonic contraptions here!
Took a good chunk out of that guy. I don't want Bellagar to get engaged in combat just yet.
You insist. Understood!
Alright, if we can wipe these guys out quickly and efficiently, I think we can.
Bring everything!
Then we can focus the reinforcements. $80,000 men all killed in a single day, almost all killed. Yeah, it was a massive defeat. I've read, accounts. Of course, we don't know how much of it's true because no one was there, but can you even imagine the gore, like the blood and the gore of a battle, the stink that we left from a battle like that? Like, can you even, like, I can't even begin to fathom that. Like, the scene of carnage that would be left from nearly 80,000 people dying in a day in a field near the river, all with hand weapons. Like, I mean, that, it's a sight that you almost want to understand, but at the same time, you almost don't want to understand it because you'd probably never get over the PTSD.
Warriors! For the Kala's encore!
Try and kill that Gobbo big boss.
Going quickly! Axes out, what?
Pause it again real quick. Let's go after the archers. We can't afford to take a bunch of losses to goblin archers. Our troops, now is the time to fight. If we fight and die, then so be it, but now is the time.
Vengeance calls! Nothing can stop us!
Cinder shell these guys again.
Come together, lads!
Okay. Buff up the lads. Almost like I heard someone say Maximus there. Okay, let's throw down some works. Let's start throwing some firepower that direction. Throw our hammers into combat. I'm gonna throw some help over here.
For the
Need to help against that Gobbo big boss. Bellagar's pretty tough, but I don't want him out there tanking that alone. He doesn't have a lot of hit points.
Go!
Drove them off.
The ancestors
Excellent. Let's change our target. Let's throw some supports
Move
to the other side of the map.
Kazuk!
Keep my runesmith free. I'm trying to hold these units in reserve, because if I can afford to not get them killed, that would be a benefit to me.
I'll do it!
Throw some more ammo out there, because that'll help the power bar as well.
Fight! Shah!
Shoot these units that are routing. We need to pour some support in this direction. I think we've got this. Just a matter of time before the greenskins break at this point.
Wall of vengeance!
Yeah, I think we're gonna do it.
This is the age of reckoning! For the high courts everywhere!
Thing is Grimgor is almost certain to just declare war on us here in a hot second. Air still misses Maximus, so do we all. Yes, I do. Both from the movie, the Gladiator movie, because it was great, but Maximus Decimus Meridius, the YouTube content creator for Total War Rome 2, was a jewel and a gem of a character who made excellent videos and came up with some awesome stuff like Morgan Levy Freeman, and other things that I will never forget. I wish he still made videos. I loved his videos. They were awesome. Get on our hammers. What difficulty? It's on very hard campaign difficulty, normal battle difficulty, legendary chaos invasion. Very hard, normal, legendary in terms of the difficulty options that you get to pick. Several units, but one of them's, they're not our hammers. So let's go ahead and take 8 peaks. There you go. That was for you, Bertani. That was for you. 8 peaks captured. Boy, look what it did for our cash flow.
Lun's air!
Alea be praised. Oh, we actually got recruiting here too, thank goodness. Alea be praised. Some more infantry. We did it. We made a mad run for the 8 peaks and it paid off, folks. Better build some defenses while we're here too. And we probably want the growth building here more than we want Ash right now. That's probably not bad to have the public works. We need to shoot the public order up high. Mission wagons.
To battle.
All right. Blasting charge. Yeah, blasting charges are pretty decent against low armor greenskin, and many greenskin units are low armor, so they're not bad. They're not bad. Let's see. Instinct, chance of intercepting an army using the way Beast Pass Roller. This feels like that would be really useful. Start working on that. Folks, it is going to be time for me to go. It has been a fantastic stream. Thank you so much for the discussion, by the way, you all put together and helped with around Immortal Empires. I'm excited. Thank you for sticking around for the stream, making for some awesome conversation. Thank you to all who are donating and supporting and just being here and viewing. Years of support from many of you, and whether it's years or moments, I appreciate all of you being here. I love doing this. I've always loved doing it, even for all 12 years of it. So I will see you all Thursday. We're going to play some battles in Warhammer 2 and 3, so join me Thursday night, same time, on stream. We'll play some battles. Hope to see you then. HeirofCarthage, signing out.